Hey everybody, NHL hockey is back this week with opening night on Tuesday, and that means that my regular Sunday videos return as well, and we're going to start things off with NHL Games of the Week, where I look at the best matchups in the NHL this week that I am excited for. And we'll be doing this every Sunday, looking at the week ahead and picking out the best games. Before we begin, just ask you to please hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It helps the channel so much and is greatly appreciated. But let's get right into it here. Games of the week this week. Obviously, it's a little bit shorter of a week, but games run Tuesday to Saturday. But starting on Tuesday, opening night, and both matchups are absolutely outstanding. The season begins with the Tampa Bay Lightning raising the banner at home against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And two good teams from the Eastern Conference there. And a really fun matchup. That should be a good one. Cannot wait to open the season with those two. And then the second game on opening night is the first ever game in Seattle Kraken history, as Seattle gets welcomed to the NHL by the Vegas Golden Knights in Vegas. The two newest teams in the league going at it. And that should be a really fun one out in the Western Conference to finish out opening night. Moving on to Wednesday the 13th, we got a few good ones, starting with Montreal against Toronto. Big Canadian rivalry there, big Atlantic Division matchup. These two teams met in the playoffs last season. We all know what happened there with the Canadians coming back from 3-1 down. Anytime these two teams meet, it is a very good matchup, and obviously a pretty strong rivalry between the two teams and the two cities. Then we've got the New York Rangers against the Washington Capitals. Metro Division rivals. We all know what happened last year between these two teams, and it's their first game since their last meeting last season, which had 6 fights in the first period. These two teams do not like each other, and we'll see if that carries over into this year. I certainly think it's going to. This is going to be a strong rivalry this season, and they get it going in their first games of the season on Wednesday, so that should be a great one. And then out west, we have a really interesting matchup from the Pacific Division. The Vancouver Canucks against the Edmonton Oilers. That's going to be a really interesting matchup out west. And those are going to be two teams fighting for playoff positioning in the Pacific. Edmonton should certainly be a playoff team. Vancouver wants to be. They're trying to be. They're going to be fighting hard for that final spot. So big matchup out there that should be an interesting one to watch. Moving on now to Thursday, October 14th. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins again, this time playing the Florida Panthers. Florida, I'm really interested to see what they look like this year, if they can be as good as they were last season. And they're going to be a fun team to watch. Very high scoring. Pittsburgh going to have to obviously try and keep up with the offense, and that should be a fun one. And would not be surprised if that's a higher scoring game. We have the New York Islanders against the Carolina Hurricanes. These should be two of the better teams in the Metro Division. Really good matchup there. Islanders, I have really high expectations for this year, so that should be a fun one. And then out west, we've got Vegas going to LA. And obviously out in the Pacific, LA trying to make some noise this year, trying to take that next step out of the rebuild and really start to win some games and move their team up the standings. Vegas has been, the top of the Pacific for a while now, looking to be that again. And then you've got the Vegas versus LA rivalry. That should be a pretty fun one out west. Excited for that game. On Friday, there's only a few games in the NHL on Friday, and none of them really jump out as game of the week material for me. So we're going to move on now to Saturday, the 16th, and there's a number of great matchups on Saturday. We've got the Islanders against the Panthers, two teams that I think could be a couple of the best in the entire Eastern Conference. So that's just a high-quality matchup between two very good teams. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Washington Capitals. That's going to be an interesting one. Again, both of these teams looking to have very good seasons like they're used to. And that's going to be a really interesting matchup as Tampa goes into Washington. First real Central Division matchup here, St. Louis against Colorado on Saturday night. That is going to be an interesting one. Colorado, like I've said in my predictions video, that it's really their division to lose, and Colorado is expected to once again be one of the best teams in the entire NHL, if not the best. So St. Louis is going to have their work cut out for them. But St. Louis is trying to be a playoff team again. They're looking to have a better year than they had last year, which wasn't all that great for the Blues. And this is a good early test for the Blues against the Avalanche. Plus, those teams have built a pretty decent rivalry between each other. They did meet in the playoffs last year. They've played in the same division, for forever. Or maybe not forever, but, they're always in the same division. They even were last year with the changes. And the Blues and Avs are a great matchup every time they meet. And then finally, Saturday night, we get our first Battle of Alberta regular season edition. Flames against the Oilers in Edmonton. And that is going to be a really, really fun one. I mean, it's the Battle of Alberta. Every time they meet, it's a fun one. But early in the season, Edmonton's certainly going to be looking to defend home ice. Calgary's looking to go in there to steal a win. Both of these teams are going to be trying to assert their dominance early this season against each other, and that's just still one of the premier rivalries in the NHL, and it's going to be really fun to see how it goes this year. So those are my games of the week for the opening week of the NHL, starting Tuesday through Saturday, and then we'll be looking at next week on next Sunday, obviously. So great to have hockey back. Great to have my regular Sunday videos back, and games of the week is a lot of fun to do. And that's my picks for this week. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's gonna be awesome to have meaningful hockey back on my TV screen. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, our merch store, membership, and donation links are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to everyone soon.